Good morning. Right, weird old angle this morning. Weird old angle. Happy Thursday. This is why I've got this weird angle, because the TV is just there and the Women's World Cup football is starting today. I hope you're going to watch it and support it. Women's support needs all the support it can get. We're on the rise up. We definitely are, but we still need people's to support to watch it. And I'm a massive sports fan. I've worked with a few people in sport, which I've loved, and done some stuff for the Welsh FA. So they're young footballers around identity. So for the next month, I'm mostly going to be working from my sofa, except when I'm doing one-to-one clients and my group stuff. Obviously, they'll have my full attention. I'll be sat at my desk. Apparently, I've got poor connection. Not sure what that's about. Anyway, how are you doing this morning? Yeah, good morning. Pixby 2021 on Instagram. I'm live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I'll use this recording probably to go on my podcast, depending on the quality of it at the end. It might not be worth having. But today I called this World Cup of Personal Development. That is what this live is called. How do you get the World Cup of Personal Development? Yes, today is the Women's World Cup. Kicks off in New Zealand and Australia, and that's why I'm talking about that, because I'm watching that and I'll be watching a lot of it. But how do we win our own World Cup of Personal Development? Firstly, have you checked in with yourself this morning? How are you doing mentally, emotionally, and physically, and even spiritually? I've been a bit sluggish. It's been a stressful week, and like this morning, I'm like, come on, like you're choosing this flipping. You're choosing this now, right? My mood is not back where it was, but it's okay that I'm not like okay, right? It's okay that I'm, that my energy isn't always super high. And I asked myself this morning, what am I doing today that I really want to do? What lights me up? Am I doing the things that light me up? And this lights me up, doing this stuff, talking. Sport lights me up. I'm going to get to go on a lovely dog walk with my dog, and see my family. Those are the small things that actually really light me up. And this is what I think we have to try and put more of in our day in order to feel more fulfilled, more consistently fulfilled. Of course, we can't always feel like that. Good morning. Good morning. So, and hopefully if your work is fulfilling, then that's hunky dory, right? Bada boom, bada bing, right? Because we spend so much time at work that we really need to find a way that we're doing meaningful work. Now, this is kind of like my work, doing these lives and podcasts and coaching groups and one-to-ones. Next year, I'm going to be doing a couple of retreats. If you haven't checked out my retreat, go to my webpage and click on that. I'm doing a 2 and a bit day one in Seaford, which is near where I live by the sea. So that's a winter one in February. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be doing one in the spring, late spring in Ibiza, which will be wonderful. So these are the things that light me up. So what lights you up? So if you've got any questions, by the way, please drop me a comment or whatever. If you're listening to this on my It Starts With You podcast, thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe and share. You can also send me any questions. Good morning, Emma. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Have you done a little check-in for yourself? Listen, I've done my check-in. Football's kicked off. My phone tell me if you're watching on Instagram, if it keeps cutting out. It keeps telling me it's reconnecting, and I have no idea why. So how do we win the World Cup of Personal Development, right? How do we get it right? Because, not everyone is into personal development. Not everyone knows what that even means. And maybe this is a question for you to say, what does it mean for you, to you? What does those words, personal development or personal growth, mean? And is it something you access? And I would think if you listen to me or you watch me, personal development means something to you. You value it. You know that it's important, right? Because everything starts with you, your perspective, your outlook, how you manage your emotions, emotional regularity, your self-awareness, your, just everything, like how we view the world and how we see things, all comes through you. And therefore, this is why personal development is really important. Because imagine if, like, if I think, like, you know, where I am in my life, imagine if I was still 25. Oh, how wonderful that would be. But with all of this knowledge and this wisdom and this growth, oh my God. But of course, when I was 25, I didn't know what I know now. I didn't have those life experiences. I hadn't read all those books, and I'm a big personal development book reader. Right by my side here, I've got a load of books. I've got a bookshelf there. I've got books everywhere. And I wouldn't have all of that knowledge, right? So imagine if you stayed stuck, but you just, you know, if you aged, but you stay stuck with your growth and your knowledge and your wisdom. Imagine that. Good morning, Mum, running life on Instagram. If only, right? If only, yeah. Is the connection all right, Claire? Because it keeps telling me it's disconnected. I hope it's okay, because I want to use this for my podcast. Anyway, so how do we win the Personal Development World Cup? What is the ultimate trophy? What is the ultimate prize? And there's a few things, I think. Now, this is something I've not written down. Sometimes I write notes down and you might see me looking down, but today I've not written the notes down. It's just all coming off the top of my head, because I was thinking about this in bed this morning, and I saw a post, and I've put this on my Facebook page from 2020, so 3 years ago. Connection is a bit off. Okay, let me get rid of the Wi-Fi and just try the 4G and see how that works better. This will probably work better. Claire says my signal isn't great. I'm shopping and listening. Okay, well, hopefully it's a bit better now, because I've put it onto data rather than Wi-Fi. So yeah, winning the Personal Development World Cup. You know, the trophy, the prize. What is the ultimate trophy and prize? I think the ultimate trophy and prize is that it's something that we're continually looking to expand and work on. And this I shared this old post from 2020 when I was talking about how we grow in the chaos and how we expand in the chaos. And let me just try and find it if I can, because it's funny how things change, right? Like how we hang on a second. Here it is. Right. It says, only in my pain did I find my will. Only in my chaos did I learn to be still. Only in my fear did I find my might. And only in my darkness did I see the light. Well, and that is great, right? We've all probably experienced pain and suffering. We've had chaos and fear and darkness. But what if we, and this is where the World Cup bit comes in, like, how do you get the ultimate personal development prizes? Is learning that actually outside of your pain, you can actually find some great will, some great resilience. Outside of the chaos, you can learn to be still. So not just when you're in chaos, but actually outside of it. And that one for me really is about, like, if I think when I've had a chaotic time and my mind's been a bit chaotic, I have used meditation and breath work. Last year, when I found out about my heart condition and my brain tumor, a friend said to me at the time, come and meditate with me. And I had a breathwork practice at the time, but I was told I had to stop my breathwork practice because of my heart. So I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? And so I started meditating to calm down the chatter. Like I had so much head fuck going on, scared that I wasn't going to survive, and, you know, all of this mortality stuff going on. Good morning, Elif. And so I used meditation to calm myself in the chaos. Now I have that meditation just generally day to day. So I've found a way to use that and to continue my growth outside of the chaos. And this is what I'm getting at. How do we use these things outside of when we are forced to change? Like I said yesterday, you know, change before you have to, change before you're made to, right? And this is what I'm talking about. This is the Personal Development World Cup. This is how you win it, by learning to do these things outside of when you are forced to or you have to. So like when you're in pain, you're forced to keep going, or whatever it is you have to do. When you're in chaos, yes, you need to get still and quiet, and you're almost forced to do it. Otherwise, you literally could lose your mind. When you're in, you know, fear, you know, finding your might and your courage to like just push through that fear. And the other one is only in the darkness did I see my light. And that was what I posted 3 years ago. But it's what I'm getting at is doing these things outside of when the shit hits the fan, when the darkness comes, when the fear comes, when the chaos and the pain come. How can we do that? How can we nurture those things outside of the challenges? Because hopefully for you, you have more times when you're in, you know, that 80% when things are okay, than you do the 20% when things are difficult and challenging and obstacles. Elif, you are an inspiration, my darling. Your strength and authenticity is inspiring in so many levels. Thank you, my darling. I really appreciate that. I've had so many lovely messages like that lately. It really is wonderful. So thank you if you have taken the time to send me a message. I do appreciate them. And it really encourages me to keep going, because some days, you know, like working for yourself, and, you know, since I got sick last year and I couldn't work so hard and I lost a lot of momentum in my business. I'm not going to lie, it's been freaking hard. And I definitely don't have the capacity that I had before. My energy levels, like yesterday afternoon, I had to lie down and have a little sleep. And it's hard for me. Like, it's hard, you know, it's been hard for me to accept that. And I know life is probably hard for you. And this is why we must continue this journey. And so, you know, I continue showing up because I absolutely love doing this stuff. So if you need a speaker, someone for your podcast, or some coaching, I'll do a group coaching program that starts in September called Breaking Your Own Limits. It's how you work through your crap. Crap is an analogy for confidence, relationships, awareness, and purpose. That starts in September. I'm just giving myself a little shout out there. But this has been missing for me this week. I'm back on it this morning. It's too stressful otherwise. Yes, exactly right. So we have to continually do the work outside of the chaos, the fear, the pain, and the struggle. This is what we have to learn to do. And also it's a constant work on yourself, and that can feel quite daunting, I think, for some people. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to always be working on myself. Well, we are always working on ourselves, whether we're like have that conscious awareness of it or not, because you are wiser than you were yesterday, whether you have conscious awareness of that or not, because you have more experiences. Yesterday brought you new experiences, new conversations, maybe new people, and you learned something from yesterday, maybe subtly. But what if you placed the shining light on that? What if you placed some real awareness on that? And every day you went into your day thinking, okay, you know, nourishing those things that you know that work when things are challenging, like me, like meditation and breath work. When things are challenging, those things work really well. They work really well for anxiety, for stress, for tension, all of those things. So what if I nurtured a little bit of that when I actually don't need it? Because it's easy to do when it's easy to do. And how do you make something easy to do when it's hard? So like when the chaos hits and you think, oh, what was that thing I used to do that helps me and supports me in the chaos? Well, you might remember it's meditation or breath work or whatever your thing is, or, you know, EFT or some kind of healing, whatever. But if you create a practice, then when you get to that point when it's chaos, when it's fearful, when it's painful, you'll have created a habit, and it will be easier to go to it, and it will be easier to get through it, and you'll be more resilient because of it. Good morning, Alice. How are you, my darling? Hope you're well. So this is how you win the personal development World Cup. But if you think about football, right? Like who's going to win that World Cup, the Women's World Cup? Hopefully the best team, and they will, because they'll create a bit of luck, right? My dad always says, if you want good luck, go out and get it. But you create your own good luck by keeping going, by keep forging forward. Like, you know, I always talk about Happy Place podcast, but how did I get that podcast? Like, because I keep going, I keep sending emails, I keep asking questions. And so you create your own luck, and you can create your own luck by keeping going. Like, and this is the same with personal development, doing it when you don't always feel like doing it, and doing it when you don't necessarily need to do it. Like, and I know sometimes like journaling for me is a really great, useful tool. And I went to bed last night and I didn't journal, and I thought in the night I need to journal. And so it's reminded me, and I haven't journaled yet today, but I am going to journal my feelings and emotions this morning. And that is another great tool. It's doing the things when we just outside of the chaos. Like I said, if someone comes to me and they're at a really difficult point and they're stuck and they're lost, one of the things I get to them to do straight away is an energy audit and a brain dump. And the brain dump is literally, what the fuck is in here? Like, get it out of your brain, get it down on paper, unscramble it, lessen the load in your brain, let the waters settle in your mind, clear it out, declutter it. This gets it out on paper and it declutters. But imagine if you did that incrementally, a little bit every day or 3 or 4 times a week. It's that little, it's the same with meditation. And I was speaking to somebody yesterday and they had never meditated, but I wanted to find some ways of pausing, finding a way, because they're always super busy. So we created a challenge around 3 minutes of meditation every day. So it's doing this stuff when you don't need to do it. Emma Lou Nesta says, I'm booking a session with you. I look forward to that, Emma. Is that a breath work or is it a coaching session or is it a combination of the two? Because I do this thing called Life and Breath. That's what my whole sort of brand is these days, life and breath. It's life coaching and breath work. Because talking can only get you so far, but it can help you have great insight. It really absolutely can. Figure some shit out. Now, I call myself a life coach, and a life coach is very much an umbrella term for many things. Some days I rock up with my clients and I just listen. Some days we strategize. Some days I advise. It's very, very different. It's what the client needs on the day. And that's the life coaching part. And then the breathwork part can help you get to your deeper resources, those resources that we can't consciously get to. And that is the power of breathwork. It literally is transformational. And sometimes we do a bit of meditation in my group coaching program, Breaking Your Own Limits, which the link is on my website. We, at the start of every session, we do a little bit of meditation. And just to get us still, just to get that pause before we kind of just start discussing things and what we're going to be working on. Life and breath for me, says Emma Lou. Awesome. Awesome. I look forward to it, Emma. Angel Healer, good morning over on Instagram. Sam, you always come into my day at the right time. Thank you. Amazing. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm grateful that that happens to you. Got to keep going and visualizing what it is you want. Yeah, like maybe another day we'll talk about manifestation and what I think about that and how maybe you can, you know, if you believe in it, how you can make it work for yourself. I believe in it. Thanks, Sam. We'll get in touch. I've been following you. You're wonderful. Thank you. Oh, isn't that lovely? Thank you so much. That's like, this is what I say. I love getting shit like this. Maybe it's my ego needs massaging. I don't know. But like, you know, I don't rock up. I rock up here and do this stuff because I love to do it. It helps me. But honestly, when I help other people, there's no other feeling like that for me. Like that makes me feel alive doing this stuff and having these conversations and standing on stages and talking about this stuff and how we thrive in life, how we live a more fulfilled life, how we've, you know, and a lot of that is done through how we're connected to ourselves. It ultimately is. And this is why if you want to have a more fulfilled life, you want to have more freedom, more money and more health and all happiness, all of those things, those are the core things that most people want, then it has to start with you. And and how you do that is you do stuff outside of the chaos, outside of the fear. Most people come to me and knock on my door when there is like, it feels like they've got no other choice but to change or to make some, you know, significant adjustments. And, you know, we all do it, right? The straw that breaks the camel's back, right? It's never the thing that's never the thing. I had someone the other day, a client, and they were talking about it's something, I can't even remember what it was, but there was something and they literally kicked off big time. It wasn't the thing. It wasn't the thing. It never is that little thing. It's the accumulation of the little things, the things that we keep ignoring, pushing down, pushing away. Let's not invest in ourselves. Let's go and invest in a holiday. That will make me feel good. And you come back and you go to work and you go to your business, you go to your family. A few weeks later, you feel like shit again. You get holiday blues, whatever it is, because we're not doing the work. Do the fucking work. Sorry, but you have to do the work. Anyway, that's how you win the Personal Development World Cup. I'm going to leave it there for this morning. Have I got anything inspiring? Let me just share this book with you. It's called Wise Words for Women. I'm sure men can read it as well. And I meant to share this the other day. This is an author called Donna Lancaster, who I know, and she's invited me up to one of her workshops in London. in a week or so's time. So go check her out if you haven't. She's Fern Cotton's mentor. She's an extremely wise woman, and I love her work. She was at Happy Place Festival the other day. And let me just read you a quick passage of this. And what she's written here is called This. What if this is it? What if there's no better place for you to be, no ultimate nirvana for you to reach? Knowing that it isn't the circumstances of your life that need fixing, just your lenses, perspective. What if you have been hanging out in heaven all along? What if you are mistaken, thinking that you are in any way broken or flawed, and in fact there's nothing wrong with you? What if you do not have anything missing, but you are simply missing something? And that is remembering who and what you really are. You're a child of the universe, a shining star. What if the journey really is the destination? I love that line. What if the journey really is the destination? A cliche that is true nevertheless. That right here, right now, contains everything you will ever need. Every stumble and bumble was only ever sent to make you humble. Becoming more grateful, tender, and loving as you fall. That is all. Timber! And there she goes again, face down in the dirt of Humility Street. Nirvana. What if your life is filled with invisible grace in every single breath you take? Yes, even down there in the dirt. You are still breathing in and out. Grace. What if? This is the book. It's called Wise Words for Women. It's by Donna Lancaster. You can find her on Instagram, Donna Lanks, I think it is. She runs some workshops around boundaries and relationships. And yeah, she's an absolute wonderful woman. I will be at her workshop. Like I said, there's one on I think it's the 29th, 30th of July in London. And she's invited me along, so I'm going to go along to that. So if you're going, it'd be good to see you there. But what a beautiful I think it's quite poetic. It's a poem. And she's also written another book called The Bridge as well, which is more about healing. It's a healing journey. All of her work's about healing, really. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed this session. If you want some help and support around winning the Personal Development World Cup, or actually, having more fulfillment, more freedom, more connection with yourself, because that is the way to do it in your life, then drop me a message. You can go to my website, sam-adams.com/feel alive to join my personal development group coaching program that starts in September. You can pay by installments. There's only 8 spaces. I only ever have 8 people on these programs. We cover confidence, relationships, awareness, and purpose. Analogy for crap, working through your crap, right? It is crap, right? When we don't feel confident, relationships aren't good, right? We want to improve that. So let's work through that and improve that. All 8 women that did it last time had a transformational experience. It's the greatest thing that I've ever done. And I think if I don't sell this out this time, I'm quitting. I'm just like... That's how you feel some days working for yourself. Like you feel like, why did I choose this path? Because I don't want a boss, and I love what I do, and it makes me feel like when it works and everyone comes along, it feels like you got life flooding through your veins. And this is why we have to connect with ourselves deeper, so we find our purpose and our magic. And this is my purpose, and this is my magic. And despite me joking about quitting, I know that I probably never will. Because I fucking love it too much. You can't. You're amazing, Claire says. It changed my life. Thank you, honey. You're so kind. Yeah, Claire did my deep dive last year, and I literally, you have changed your life. I know I say it on here a lot, but I'm so proud of you, of what you've done and what you're doing. Like, it's incredible. And I need to get you up on stage and share that with the world, because I think you're probably one of my greatest cheerleaders. You and Lorraine is also a great cheerleader. Don't you dare don't you dare quit. No, I joke, but when you have I haven't slept well recently, and when you're tired, focus, motivation is hard to find. So I'm digging on some depleted resources at the moment, and so I'm just having to get momentum back in my business. And maybe this is you, and maybe I can inspire you to keep going. And if it's difficult and you do quit, it's okay. Sometimes we have to know when to quit. That's another really important thing. Maybe your thing isn't your thing, right? Maybe it's time to try a new thing. For me, this is me. Like, this runs through the core of me. Personal development. Dig deep. Yes, I'm digging deep, baby. This runs through the core of me. I will do this stuff whether I get paid for it or not. And right now I'm not making a lot of money out of my coaching, I'll be honest with you. But I feel like it's coming again. Like I had that curve before I got sick. I had this beautiful curve and I had more than enough work, so much work that I had to slow it down because it was just like, it was too much. And I know that I can get back there again. And this is this is why it's important to be connected to yourself, to know you and to know what you're doing is right. I know this is right. I know this is my purpose, but we all spend a lot of time doing our work, and it's really fucking hard sometimes, like it is working for yourself. And I think the way that we get through that a lot easier, it isn't about the money at the end of the day. Like, of course, I need to pay my bills, but it's not about making £1 million. £1 million ain't going to make you fucking happy and fulfilled. It might give you a bit of short-term joy, but that's it. And maybe it facilitates a few extra things. But if you're not happy at the core of you, if you don't know who you are at the core of you, and you love and like and accept yourself, you are going to struggle no matter how much money you have in the bank. And this is why I do what I do, because I know me. I know this stuff works for me. I know this stuff helps other people. And it absolutely pains me when I see people not living fulfilled and thriving lives. It really does. So does your work do that for you? Does it have meaning? Does it have purpose? Because you spend so much of your time there, it damn well should. And mine does that. And that therefore that means that I can dig deep when it's bloody hard. And this is why we have to find our purpose and our meaning and our connection to self. You do inspire me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the lovely comments this morning. I'm definitely going. If you've been listening on the podcast, thank you. I really appreciate you. Go check out my website, sam-adams.com. You can sign up to my mailing list there. I'm sending out more regular emails now. I'm getting better at this stuff. And I wish you a very happy, non-refundable day. Do not forget, it starts with you. Go start winning that Personal Development World Cup. Have yourself a great day.